Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Collision Cast. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Today with me, I have Brandon, who is our video editor, as well as many other things. Say hello, Brandon.
Hello. That was really loud. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Don't watch this. Don't be the guy.
Okay.
Don't be the guy you usually
I
are.
like seeing it though. It's nice.
Okay, I'll put it back up.
All right. Thank you.
So yeah, Brandon is the guy who does our video editing. He's he's a good friend of mine.
I light, edit.
Yeah, you're getting better.
Film, yeah.
Yeah, it's a learning process.
Absolutely.
So speaking of learning process, since that's a good segue, how did you acquire your editing abilities?
I learned it through school. I went to the Valencia College and did the film program there. It was quite fun.
You enjoyed it?
Hell yeah, it was pretty tight. You pretty much learn like all of everything in like on a film set. Like there's so much more than you would think, and I geared towards lighting more than anything because it sets the whole mood for the scene, and I like that. It's pretty sick.
Yeah. And now that you're doing the videos, you've been kind of doing this thing where pretty much every time you do a video, you want to learn something new.
100%, yeah, and it's way different because at school they have everything. They have all the film level technology, like what you would see on like a big budget Marvel movie, and I learned all that stuff. And here we're using more of like the consumer stuff. So it's like I'm having to relearn at like a lower level, which is really weird, but it's challenging but fun.
Yeah. It'll make you more versatile.
100%. Yeah, I'm learning everything. Like I wasn't really an editor, and I have to edit everything, but it's fun.
Well, you're really good at it.
Yeah.
You still have a lot of learning, but
100%.
I think the majority of the issues that we're having in our videos is
they're just kind of stagnant.
And by the way, that wasn't a dig.
No, yeah, I know.
Film is massive.
100%.
From what I understand. And I still have a lot of learning to do, especially in what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, our videos so far haven't really been too dynamic, so it's just kind of like...
It doesn't give you much to work with.
Yeah, it's just like an interview style, just like make you look good.
Yeah.
With like stuff behind you to make it less boring.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. You're trying to find a good shot in that vein.
For sure. Yeah.
That was fun. Trying to get everything set up for the first time. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then now with the podcasts and the other things that we're working on.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that a little bit because we have a couple things planned. So let's just talk about the ideas, like what we're gonna also have on the channel. Because my point right now is that we're basically in a learning stage and a material acquisition phase.
For sure.
So it's not really a point where we can give a lot of frequent updates. So at this point, we're just going to give updates on an unregular basis, but try and get some level of order to that unregular basis.
Yeah,
and
get into a routine.
Yeah, get into a routine.
Yeah.
While also providing plenty of content for those who are interested in keeping up with us more regularly.
Yeah.
If this is a passion project for you too, we want you to be able to like put your passion and your time into the project.
For sure.
I'm meaning the person listening to this podcast.
Yes.
So that's why the podcast exists. That's why the other what is the other thing I wanted to do? Oh yes, the AMAs. The AMA summarized.
Yes, ask me anything.
Yes.
We're
gonna do AMAs, and we're gonna do AMAs on Telegram, and eventually on another platform as well. And what we're going to do with that is find a happy medium of what we discuss, summarizing it into a video, and then posting that as a weekly summary for that video. And then for those interested, the audio would also be uploaded from that.
For sure.
And that would give us plenty of content to provide with you guys while not
and also every Friday a podcast.
Yeah, every Friday a podcast for now.
Right now we're just going through all of the team members one by one.
Exactly.
And then soon it will just be
Yeah, we'll have a rotating cast.
Yes.
And then the plan is to have me and Josh on consistently.
For sure.
So have everyone that can come in, and everyone that can't come in we'll do video chats with, and go from there. Yeah. Because I think podcasts are a good low energy, low editing, low...
Yeah, it's not too hard to...
Yeah, it's
to
not
edit.
too hard to work on. It's not too hard to get done, but it also provides you guys with little updates based on what we're doing in the event that that's what you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And after these episodes, like, that will come at the beginning of each episode. Because what we'll do is we'll be like, hey, this is the person we have on today. What have you been doing since the last time you were on? And then they'll tell us, and then we'll go into the...
Update you on that portion of...
Yeah.
The grand scheme of the project.
Yeah, because as of right now, everyone has found the podcast pretty fun. So it gives us something to work on, like a weekly goal that we get to look forward to, essentially,
mm-hmm.
which is very important in a company that's a passion project like this.
For sure.
And a couple of people have argued, including one of my advisors, that it's a little early, but I think that's what we're going for.
Yeah, just to get the early stages.
Yeah,
you see every step.
Yeah, this way you can see every step, see us mature into the people that you'll trust one day.
Yeah.
As much as everyone that...
We're not trying to hide behind the scenes.
Yeah, we're not trying to hide our errors behind the scenes until they're so infrequent you don't need to hear about them.
Yeah, and just call us out on anything.
Exactly. And then we can improve and go from there.
Absolutely.
So with all that in mind... have you enjoyed working on the videos? I know editing can sometimes be super tedious.
Yeah. The videos are, I mean, they're pretty simple, mm-hmm. but it is fun to learn a new, like, skill. Mm-hmm. Like, I did editing in school, but here I'm having to do everything as opposed to just, like, follow these steps, and I'm slamming the table.
You're good.
And... yeah, it's really fun. And also, like, making the thumbnails. I need to probably get, like, Photoshop certified because that's addicting.
Yeah.
Learning photography on top of, like, video editing. Like, photography is completely different from, like, filming a video, and it's been fun to also learn that.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And you've been doing really well. Yeah, you've been doing a lot of stuff in the background that we're going to start using soon, and I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, it's going to be sick.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Thank you, sir.
I feel like I always bring people on here and I just compliment them. I try and be very straightforward with people. But things are going really well.
Positive reinforcement.
Yeah, positive reinforcement.
It helps.
Yeah, it does. Especially this early on. As long as we keep on the track that we're at, probably pick up the pace even more.
For sure. Once we get into, like, the groove of things and have, like, a proper schedule.
Yeah, getting a proper rhythm and...
trying to coordinate with everyone's schedules has been, like...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's been very difficult because I wanted to have the artists back on... pre-record their next podcast
mm-hmm.
because since the recording of these podcasts that have been coming out, they've put out more work. And that's a good thing. Like, I'm really excited for you guys to see that, and by the time this one comes out, you'll probably be getting it, and that'll date this video pretty bad.
That's fine.
But anyways, I'm doing a lot of ums this time. I'm sorry.
It's all good, dude. We're just 8 minutes in.
Are we only 8 minutes in? Wow.
Feels like a lot longer, right?
It has. I think we got through the points a little quicker on this one.
Like who I am?
Yeah.
I'm Brandon. No, I mean, I'm from New York. Moved here when I was a kid. And I've lived here my entire life. And are we telling where we are?
Yeah. We
established our location?
We live in...
Florida.
We live in
Central Florida.
We live in Central Florida.
Yeah. Where it's hot for no fucking reason.
Yeah, true. Very, very true. What made you want to get into film? Like, why did you choose film? When you
movies.
went to school?
I've always, since I was a kid, every weekend, just go to a movie, watch a movie, and then, my parents, they really didn't care whether it was rated R or not, which is, I don't know how that will affect me later on in life, but...
Nah, you're fine.
Just seeing, like, The Matrix, that was mind-blowing as a kid. Seeing Quentin Tarantino's, all the greats like Quentin Tarantino, Nolan. I recently got into like Wes Anderson, who's like a great director. I love the way he like frames up, and the colors and everything in his film is just so like purpose. Everything has purpose in his film, like in each frame, and it's beautiful to watch, man.
Yeah.
It's I keep saying it's like I'm.
You're fine. Don't critique your own speech right now. We're still new.
Yeah, for the most part, what made me take the jump to go into film school was, it's pretty random, but the Man of Steel score. I originally wanted to do sound engineering.
Okay.
Because that score is amazing. I don't care what anyone says about the movie. I think it's a great movie, and the score is, in my opinion, like second only to like maybe Star Wars or, I can't even like any other iconic.
You thought Dunes was pretty good.
Dunes was amazing.
Yeah.
But I still think Man of Steel just.
Tenet was really good.
I don't know. It's just too good.
I want to watch it on TV because.
Tenet was great too.
Josh, the person who eventually will produce music for us.
Eventually.
He said that I was trying to remember exactly what he said, and it made me pause longer than I wanted to. He said that the score is very, very well balanced in the home release, and he said that he thinks that IMAX kind of might have fucked it up. Because,
for what? For Dune?
For Tenet.
For Tenet, really?
Yeah, because he and I had the same complaint when we watched it together. That during the scenes where they were in the water, and during the scenes where they were next to the battlefield,
mm-hmm.
the music made it very difficult to hear them. I was like, "Come on, Hans."
Well, I mean, I think that's just like Nolan. I don't know. For some reason, his films, the sound is always critiqued. There's always something like Bane and The Dark Knight Returns. They had to go back in and redo the sound on that because.
Did they redub it or just remaster it?
I think they had to do ADR, which is just like Tom Hardy had to go back in and do voiceover on himself. Because like the rock is just kind of like his voice the whole time. You couldn't do anything like that. It was like that. You can, and that's why it sounds like if you notice in the first scene on that plane,
mm-hmm.
like he sounds really weird. It sounds like almost too clear. Yeah. That's because he's doing it in a room, in a soundproof room.
I mean. I kind of like that. If
the fire rises,
if they got the muffling,
he was so good.
Done well.
It was still good.
Excuse me.
I mean, that was probably my least favorite of the three because there's so many plot holes, but it's still such a great movie.
I mean, if you turn your brain off, it's a great film.
100%. Yeah. That's the one where he kind of just left reality. It was like, you know what, this is going to be my comic book movie. And it felt the least grounded out of all of them.
Did he say he wanted to make the most grounded one, or did it just end up like that?
It just came off like that because he for his research, I think he read Batman Year One and obviously like The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
And yeah.
He did a good job. I really love those films.
It's the greatest fucking.
Well, I mean, the new Batman.
It was sick.
Yeah.
For sure. That one's even more grounded than Nolan's.
I definitely agree. Besides the grappling hook. The grappling hook's not realistic at all.
No, yeah. It's not, no. But it's still Batman. You can't have a Batman movie without the grapple hook. It's like having Indiana Jones without a whip.
Nolan did it really well.
No, he had a grapple hook.
Did he?
For sure.
Did he use it to climb?
You don't remember in the first one when he calls the bats in with the bat sonar thing?
Oh yeah, you're right.
And then he gets Ashley, what's her name? Rachel out, takes her up to the roof, and she's like,
I do remember that now.
Poisoned.
I do remember that now. Okay, well never mind then.
Yeah.
Like, I think grappling hook's cool though.
Absolutely. The new Batman was it was good. I give it like an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I that's what I've been trying to figure out, like, because I didn't know if I considered The Dark Knight a masterpiece. I knew it was close.
Yeah.
I knew that it was I knew that Heath Ledger's performance was a masterpiece.
As much as because I'm a Marvel guy, like as much as I want to shit on Batman, I'd be like, fuck you, man. But that Dark
film,
Knight,
The Dark Knight is really good.
It's good,
yeah,
man.
It's so good. And it's not just because of Heath Ledger's performance. It's because of
everything, the culmination, the story,
the culmination of the story,
the score,
the
cinematography, everything about it.
Everything's really good.
It's on point.
It's almost like a masterpiece, but I was trying to figure that out when I was watching the Batman, because I kept comparing them when I was watching.
For sure, I mean you can't.
It's
how
almost
can
impossible
you
not to.
Yeah.
And I kept saying like, this is fantastic, but is it as good as The Dark Knight? But I wasn't saying is this as good as Batman Begins, because I had established in my head that towards the first 45-minute mark of the film that as long as they didn't ruin anything from this point on, it was better than Begins.
I think what makes those films just feel better is because he's going against. I mean, it's kind of unfair. Those movies took like the best villains.
Yeah.
And I mean, not to say that Riddler is a bad villain or like a shitty villain. He's
different.
Yeah, he's very different.
He's a different scale to it.
It's a more noir vibe to the film. He's more detective oriented, having to figure out the riddles, and you still get those epic Batman, like that car chase scene, dude.
Very, very good.
It's one of the greatest Batman car chases.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so sick.
I love the Batmobile. I didn't think I was gonna like it from the trailer. I was like, that kind of looks stupid.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna give it a shot. It. And then I love it.
And then in IMAX, dude, hearing that the engine just shake the theater, was insane. It was so good.
The sound design, is that the correct way to say it when it's how it's mixed?
Yeah, it's the sound.
The sound design is perfect.
For sure.
And
like
for IMAX. At least I can't wait to see it in like my house and like watch it that way.
Yeah. It'll feel different, but
my hope is that we can still feel that same kind of balance, because there were points where Robert Pattinson didn't need to say anything. The way his face looked and the way he was moving told me everything I needed to know about what he was thinking, what he was about to do.
Well, he was brooding. Yeah, he was angry Batman.
Yeah, he was angry Batman.
There wasn't really a lot. That's my only gripe with the movie, is that it's like bittersweet, right? Like, 'cause you're getting this young, angry Batman for the first time. It's like watching these first Spider-Man movies. Like, we're getting kids Spider-Man for the first time, and we're seeing him become the Spider-Man, living in the shitty apartment by himself.
I agree.
And this is we're getting, Batman, young, angry, not really thinking things through, just beating the shit out of people.
Vengeance.
And
I saw that the movie was called The Batman, but I still even questioned. At one point in the middle, I was like, "Is his name Vengeance? Has he not changed his name to Batman?"
Vengeance.
Is he not Batman yet? Like, has he been Vengeance?
I guess that's the point. That's the point of him. Like, he's trying to find himself, right? He knows he's the Batman, but he's still like, I'm this badass. That's vengeance. Yeah. Just very angry.
Yeah, and that's one thing. Like, I think Robert Pattinson was the perfect person to play that version of Batman.
He has the jaw, son.
He has the jaw. He has
a jawline thick.
He has the physique of a Batman that's like been taking it seriously, but like hasn't reached his potential. I sorry guys, I leaned back. He hasn't reached his potential yet, and because of that, he almost seems not as scary from like this perspective. But how violent he is why people are that afraid of him.
100%.
Because he was so violent.
Yeah,
and it was amazing.
I love that first scene where they show you the power of Batman. Yeah, of his fear of like those multiple crimes happening, and then they're terrified to run into the dark alley. Like, is he gonna be in there, man? And then finally he is. So sick, so good. It was good.
He was very good. I think his monologues.
It's just the length. Without really giving more to his character. I think that's my only issue with the movie. Because it's 3 hours long, and it's all about the situation, not really
him. Yeah.
Like,
he's
more
changed
about him.
Throughout the film by the situation.
Yeah.
He's not a active character.
Yeah.
He's a reactive character.
Yes.
And you probably wanted to,
Yeah,
wanted to be
it's
more
more
active.
so like like Riddler doing something to him and him having to figure out. And there were so many like Riddler, Penguin, Falcone, so many things he had to deal with. Catwoman.
True. There were a lot of characters. He did introduce,
But I don't
them pretty
think
well.
any of them were bad. I think they all
he introduced
they all
them
made
all really
sense.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a really good job.
Yeah, it was good.
The whole film was really good. I was super into pretty much every scene. Just all around great.
For sure.
So when you watch films like that, like pretty much you always tell me like the thing you always mention is shots. Like
Yeah, man.
I like how the shot.
Like just
was.
really try and pay attention to how like what you're looking at looks cool.
Yeah.
You know, like every shot that you're looking at, a lot of thought went into it. You know, like, and just think about like the lighting in some shots. Like it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. You know, like in reality, it won't look like that, but it makes sense for the shot, and your brain works in a way to where it's like, yeah, of course they're gonna look like that in that scene, where they would never. You know,
Yeah.
and it's just cool to see like how it works. You know.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty sick.
I know exactly what you mean.
That's my slogan. It's pretty
It's
sick.
pretty
I've
sick.
said that like 12 times already.
Don't overanalyze yourself.
I know.
Yeah, I love when you mention shots. The first thing I always think about is that shot from Parasite, where it's like them coming down to where they live, and
Yeah.
the water is flowing, and the further they go, the dirtier it gets, and the
Yeah.
more the water washes away the filth.
Yeah, like the rich lord over the poor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to them, it's like a minor inconvenience. Like it
Like,
canceled their
Or not
camping
even.
trip.
It wasn't even. It was like a blessing. It's like now we can have the party at the house.
Yeah.
And then they're going to a shelter.
Yeah.
Because their entire home was flooded.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
And then at the end, like how everything just devolves instantly and crazily, and just the fear. Like when the guy who's living under the house goes crazy,
Yeah.
it's insane. Like it's the anxiety, the
Yeah, that's one thing. Like Korean cinema makes like, I don't know, like the way they can make you feel like tension and anxiety. It's like a Safdie brothers movie. Like if anyone's seen Uncut Gems,
Uncut
you know
Gems
what I'm
is one of my
talking
favorite
about,
films of
dude.
all
Like
time.
that is
it's
just
so good.
my palms get sweaty just
Yeah.
talking about it. Like it's constantly like
The scene with The Weeknd, by the way, congrats The Weeknd. If you for some reason The Weeknd, if you're watching this video, thanks, man, I appreciate it. But anyways, your performance was actually incredible in that scene. Good job. The scene with The Weeknd and his girlfriend,
Yeah.
which girlfriend who I don't know the name of. Good job.
Yeah, she was great.
The scene was incredible.
Yeah.
Me as a partner, I looked over at my girlfriend for a second and almost like I pulled her closer and was like looking at the screen because I was like, how the fuck do you compete with The Weeknd?
Exactly.
He's got more money than you. He's more talented than you.
Exactly.
He's probably more successful than you. Like, you just give up. You're just like, okay, good job. Take my wife.
Everything was going wrong for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. You know, like everything goes bad until it finally goes good, and then he gets shot in the face.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Everything goes bad until it finally goes good. And then, like, I was thinking, you and I talked about it afterwards, like, would he have used that money to gamble more? Or would
100%.
he have stopped? And,
No,
and
he would have.
I'm getting leading to that.
No, yeah.
But go ahead. Yeah, I cut you off.
I think that's the. I think it's good that he died. He died at the most blissful moment for him, where he finally got that. He got that win, and then he got a swift death.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like he was beaten to death or something horrible, because it probably was going to lead to something like that.
Yeah. You from his character, you argued when I first watched the movie, I was like, I think he would have gotten better because like that amount of money,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of have to sit back and be like, okay, I have all this money. I can stop gambling now.
Yeah.
But you were like, no, because he would have taken it and put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but that much money. He's like, no, but he lives in Vegas. He would have taken it and he would have put it somewhere else, and then it would have been gone.
He was addicted.
And he was addicted.
Yeah.
He was addicted to the rush. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Fuck.
And that's another reason why I thought Robert Pattinson was really good, because those same directors did a movie with him called Good Time. Same thing, same feeling, where you're just like pure adrenaline and anxiety the whole time.
He won me over in Water for Elephants. Because, like, I don't remember that movie at all, but I remember his performance being really good. I don't remember
that one. It was, like, right after Twilight, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it because I was, unfortunately, a Twilight fan in high school. Because I was like...
Team Jacob! No,
I was like, all these girls are super into this book. I might as well read this book. And I read the books, and I was like... I mean, Stephanie Meyer's not a terrible author. She's just... She needs some... Someone needs to tell her, like, hey, use less adjectives.
I've never read, so I have no idea.
She uses... Okay, use more synonyms is what I should say. Because she says, like, the same thing about the same person over and over again. Like, the number of times she says that...
Edward is so beautiful.
It's not... No, she doesn't do that.
Okay.
But what she says is that Edward's voice feels like lavender. I think that's said, like, a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And then...
I know what you mean. I read the Halo books.
Yeah.
And there was every time they would explain, like, Master Chief shooting something, he peppered bullets into the... It's like, all right, man, how many times is he going to pepper bullets into something? You know?
Yeah, like...
What about the salt? Let's not discriminate.
Exactly. He salted his face with bullets. Remind me to use that. But yeah, like, the Batman was so good.
It was. And the Marvel movies, that's just like a whole thing in itself. It's like the longest running, most expensive TV show.
I haven't seen Eternals yet.
It was good.
I should watch Eternals.
It was good. It got mixed reviews, and I understand why, but I think it's a decent movie. It's not terrible, it's not great, but it's worth the watch for free on it's on Disney Plus, so it's definitely check it out. It's a good one.
Feels like there's a hair.
But I'm also a Marvel nerd, so
Marvel's really good, like especially the comics. Yeah. Like I mean not
Did you see the new comic that's coming out?
No, what is
this summer? Avengers versus X-Men versus Eternals. Yeah, or I think it's X-Men fighting the Eternals, and the Avengers are just caught in the middle of it, trying to stop the fight.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was gonna say, why are the Avengers fighting?
I'm sure it's just a way to, like, get people to care about the Eternals more. It's like, let's bring them into the comics and have them fight Iron Man. So that
so that way people will... Is Iron Man
see,
back?
they're relevant. What? Iron
Man dead.
Iron Man?
Yeah.
He's not dead in the comics.
He died.
No, in the comics, he's Iron God.
What?
Yeah, he becomes like he gains some cosmic power. I think he gains Galactus's power and becomes the Iron God. And Doom is Dr. Doom is the one to set him straight. He made everyone in the universe or in the world just as smart as him. That's what Tony did. And Reed Richards was like, "Huh. I think I just got dumber." It's like, damn, dude, what a flex.
He is the smartest man in the universe.
Yes.
Wasn't that confirmed by, like, Galactus?
I don't know. I haven't read in a while. I've just been catching little snippets here and there. I haven't had time to read with, like, work and school and stuff. But I'm finally done with school, so.
I wonder if Doom got it smarter or less intelligent.
True, right? If he's smarter or not. Yeah, I don't know.
Because, like, I would consider those to be on the same level. Because, like, Tony's mastery of science extends farther than Doom, probably. But I don't think Tony could master magic to the same degree that Doom does.
Yeah. And Doom is just such a problem, dude.
How does someone who's mastered magic to that level? I guess it's a different type of magic.
How does he lose?
No, how does someone who's mastered magic and science to that level, have that level of an ego? Because, like, he hasn't just mastered magic. He mastered, like, monk magic.
It's probably, like, it's the human part of him.
True.
Can't take that out of him.
Fair enough. He and Reed Richards are such a good dynamic because...
Yeah, I'm really excited for those coming to the MCU.
Yes.
I really hope they do Doctor Doom
right.
Dude,
yeah.
they never do him right.
I hope they do him right. I hope it's really
Doom
good.
right.
Because a Doom that feels like Doom in the MCU is exactly what they need right now. Because I think...
Who do you think they would get to play him? Probably a nobody or someone big. One of those.
Yeah, it's one of those 50-50s with Marvel. I have no idea. I haven't really thought about that. Well, he's going to wear a helmet the whole time. So
so it really doesn't matter, yeah.
It's a voice.
Unless they do, like, before he's Doom. Or he's just Victor Von Doom. I mean, he's always Victor Von Doom, but you know what I mean. Like, before he gets his...
Hopefully someone with an actual accent. That's hard to place.
Yeah, like Liberia.
Yeah.
He's from Liberia, yeah.
Is Liberia a real place?
I don't know. I always
I'm pretty
thought
sure it's fictional.
I don't know my geography of Europe, but it's in the comics. It's over there, so I don't know.
Latveria. Nope. That's his bacteria.
This is the...
It's a fictional country.
Podcast Google session.
You gotta Google stuff every once in a while. Make sure
shit's real or fake.
Yeah. So Latveria is in fact fictional.
All right, sick. So
it's like...
Does he even need an accent? I don't have no idea.
He needs a hard to place European accent. Like not bird. He doesn't need a bird accent. He needs a real accent. His fucking bird.
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke. Why?
I don't know.
You should have just done your normal.
But at the same time,
at
Whiplash is kind of like a stupid villain.
But
I mean, he's cool. He's cool, but he's such a side villain. It's crazy. And then when they take the opportunity to make a cool villain, like Iron Man's Joker is the Mandarin, and they kind of just shit all over him. Makes me sad. But it's okay. The MCU is still cool, I guess.
There's just certain things that make you sad.
No, yeah.
See, it's funny that you think that because I still argue that Iron Man 3 is like a really good film.
I know. I can see why people would like it, but for liking the lore, that's just like, imagine if they did that to the Joker.
I'd still be fine with that because the Joker's had such a good performance before.
Shut up.
See, it's
You're
different.
wrong.
No. It's different though. I'm defending you. It's different because the Joker's had Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix now.
For sure.
Two performances where you're like, okay,
but before that,
amazing.
But let's say
if it would have been before that, I would agree with you.
That's what I'm saying. Like if
because they basically never did Mandarin justice and then ruined.
That's what I'm saying. This is like if hypothetically if this was the Joker's first appearance and they completely just
then I would agree
ruin
with you.
him.
But because they've had such a good performance for the Joker, I'd be perfectly fine.
And then they go back on it in
expectations.
In spoiler alert in Shang-Chi, where his father is the Mandarin, and
the guy was just using his name. Do you still think he wasn't done justice?
I mean, it was okay, but it's like they could have done a traditional Mandarin versus Iron Man.
How did his rings work? Were they just a power?
In the comics, it's like each one has a different power. In the movie, he just does stuff. He doesn't really explain them. He kind of just does cool shit with it. But yeah, could have been better still. But
speaking of Robert Pattinson movies, since apparently this podcast with you is all about film, The Lighthouse. No, this podcast is about us and our lives. You're good. The Lighthouse. That film.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I've seen it 3 times.
Bad luck to kill a seabird.
Yes, because I saw it once with you. I saw it once with Sophia, and then you and I saw it again.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
That guy's a really good director. That was like his second movie. His first movie was The Witch. If anyone's seen that, that's one of the best horror films.
To go,
in my opinion.
those two films are great. We could talk about The Witch too, because that movie's amazing.
Yeah, he's coming out with a new one. It's called The Viking, and it looks crazy. Yeah, I'll show you.
So it's probably a realistic Viking.
I'll show you a trailer after this.
For sure. But anyways, what was I talking about?
Movies, Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse. That I've seen that movie 3 times. I've watched videos on it. I've watched a bunch of different explanations of what's happening. And I still...
Yeah, if you think Robert Pattinson's a bad actor, watch Good Time.
Yeah.
And watch The Lighthouse. That's for me I was like, holy shit, this guy can really fucking act. Yeah.
Yeah, because him and Willem Dafoe. Like, you also can't forget that.
Of course, dude. Willem Dafoe is like...
Willem Dafoe was why Death Note was almost good.
Willem Dafoe was the reason why Spider-Man 3 was like... That was like a Heath Ledger performance of the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3, dude. That was insane.
Did you watch the live-action Death Note at all?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to be tainted.
It's a 5 out of 10, but objectively speaking, it's probably like a 7 or 8 out of 10. Because
of
Willem Dafoe, and in all honesty, Light is actually... It's not Light, but his performance is fine.
I have to see it.
It's one of those things where, like, I watched it the first time with my brain turned off, because I was like, I'm watching this as a film critic. Mm-hmm. Because that's how I always try and watch movies the first time. Is either as a film critic or as a fan. Okay. So if it's something that I'm a fan of, I watch it as a film critic. Yeah. If it's something that I'm not a fan of, I watch it as a fan. Yeah. So that way, like, I can ignore all of the stuff that's happening and just be like, okay, did I enjoy this film? Yes. Yeah. Did I not enjoy this film? No. Yeah. And that's why I have such weird opinions on certain films. Yeah. I'm like, all the Marvel movies, I would pick the shit out of them because I love superhero films. For sure. That's why I love The Boys so much, because, like, there's nothing in The Boys for me to nitpick. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just great. It's so good. It is. I can't wait. You saw the trailer for season 3? Yes. I am worried about Butcher having powers. I never read the comics, so I don't know. I don't know either. But, like, it feels kind of like a shark jumper to me. What's that? It's in Happy Days when what's his name? The guy with the jacket, the black jacket. I don't know. The guy with the black jacket from Happy Days, the Fonz. Okay. He jumps over a shark pit on a jet ski. Okay.
It's like Batman with his shark repellent.
Well, he does it as a stunt.
Yeah, but is it like corny or something?
It's so bad.
Yeah, it's saying like Adam West Batman. Get the shark repellent.
So like Happy Days was like a heartfelt sitcom. So like it slowly became about the Fonz because people seem to like the Fonz, and then after time went on, his gimmick became less and less popular, and so the show died because people weren't that interested in their family dynamic. Yeah. So the moment, like, when the show's ratings came back from a point where they could never come back from was the moment he jumped over a shark. And like, nobody came back. What the fuck is happening here? Yeah, what is happening in this show? So normally when something is terrible, I call it a shark jumper. Okay. Okay, I get that now. Got that. I think I got that from Rick and Morty first, but I do remember saying that before.
That was a joke that they like explained.
Yeah, I know. I remember saying it before because I've seen Happy Days and I've heard this before, and I've heard people say the shark jumper thing a bunch of different times. I don't remember which place I got it from. So whoever said it first, thank you for that phrase because it's amazing. Yeah. But yeah, that would be a real shark jumper. Or I'm worried it's a shark jumper because I think what they're doing is they're taking a character from The Boys that exists and merging part of his powers with Butcher. And while I'm okay with them taking the powers of that person and even that person's purpose and giving them to someone else, there's only 2 ways that Butcher has powers. He's either given Compound V and it works, which in my opinion is okay, but unless it's an experimental version of Compound V, I don't want him to be on the level of Starlight, which is what he seems to be. Because she's been training her entire life. And when you have superpowers, in my opinion, if you're writing a comic book universe, which if The Boys is a comic book universe,
Yeah.
You need to understand that if you set up that a character that has a strong power still has to work hard to obtain the level of skill that Starlight has obtained.
For sure.
You can't suddenly give a person powers and say that just because they have the combat training that they're on that level. Yeah. Because it's not just about combat
unless
training.
The power is like, because in the trailer it just seems to be like laser beams from the eyes, you know?
Oh, I mean, that's completely
different. If it's just like a simple power where it's kind of like...
I was worried that they were going to make him like a Superman character.
You kill or you don't kill with your eyeballs, you know?
Yeah. Making a Superman character is so much fun, though. Because you have to... You
can do anything.
Yeah.
It's fucking OP.
Yeah, Superman characters are great. I love Superman as a villain when it's done really well. I'm
kind of over it now.
But did you see Brightburn?
It's yeah.
Were you kid... over it when you watched the movie?
No, that was cool because that's not Superman. That's just like it's like we all know it's Superman, but it's not Superman. So
exactly.
That kind of made it good for me.
Yeah. But I really liked it.
Yeah, it was good. And
messed with my head quite a bit.
Yeah, evil Superman is just being done too much lately.
Yes.
With like Injustice. I mean, I liked it when it was first introduced, but now it's just like Injustice, and now we're in the DC EU. Mm-hmm. It's no
Black Suit.
Is it DC EU?
It doesn't actually have a name.
Right?
It's just the DC cinematic.
So universe. DCCU.
That's still apparently there's no official.
DC movies.
The Warner Brothers universe. The Warner Brothers cinematic universe.
Yeah.
WB verse.
I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? We went into like 7 different comic book things.
We were talking about.
What was the first? How did we get? It was like from The Boys, but how did we get to The Boys?
We're talking about Superman characters and evil Superman. You're talking about current evil Superman.
But before that,
we were talking about evil Superman.
Before The Boys?
No, before that we were talking about comic book universes. I think.
Did we just go down like a rabbit hole?
I mean, yeah, but
kept digging. And I was just trying to like retrace myself. Like, how did we get here?
Yeah. I'm fine. We're down a good rabbit hole for me.
Comic
books, and manga. Manga's so good.
I haven't read any manga.
I need to get you the One Punch.
I watch a lot of anime though.
I need to get you either One Punch or My Hero because they're better reads than
I can't watch ahead of the show though.
That's fine. You have a lot of catching up to do.
Read ahead of the show.
That's fine. You have a lot of catching up to do, and like I'm pretty frugal, so I'd get them like one at a time and then let you borrow them.
All right. Sick.
And yeah, because I think they're almost better reads than they are animes, which is very rare.
That's hard.
It's very
sell because the animation is so good.
Yep. But the art that inspired it, like when you see the art that inspired it, you're like, okay, yeah.
I know, but it's also like the voice acting of like.
That's true. It elevates. Well, it's like I've said a couple of times. Like animation is the pinnacle of entertainment, unless it's a video game. Video game is as far as it goes, because you can interact with it.
You're actually in it. Yeah.
You can interact with it, but aside from that, animation is the pinnacle of media because you can do everything that you can do with acting, plus dramatize it to an unrealistic degree, and anything that you can create in CGI for a film, you can draw.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like, it doesn't get better than, like, being able to take everything that you can possibly think of and put it in front of the person you want to experience it.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing with Collision Gate.
Exactly.
Full circle.
Full circle. I want to create... Yeah. Collision Gate's massive because of that. Like, I want to be able to give different creators the opportunity to work with Collision in the future and create content.
For sure. To bring in
level.
different types of audiences.
Yeah. Because my thing is, it doesn't matter how skilled we are at making video games or how good we are at making videos, even though I'm not saying that we're very skilled yet. We still have a lot of learning. It doesn't matter how good we are at those things if we can't keep an audience.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I think the best way of obtaining an audience and keeping an audience is to essentially find those people that have a strong, committed audience that trusts the content creator, trust the person, and ask them to be like, hey, can you
to market, help market, or
can you market it from someone who is only benefiting monetarily because you invested in it.
Yeah.
Like giving content creators tokens to give away, setting up giveaways like that, setting up tournaments where people have the opportunity to give stuff away and give to charity and stuff like that.
For sure.
I think that's
I think that would be sick to film tournaments and
I want
put that on the channel.
Yeah. I've gotten in contact with quite a few people that I'm going to get together at card shops.
Yeah.
And I want to record those games and then get their review essentially after.
For sure.
It's just been very difficult to set up because everybody works, everybody has their thing. So I basically have to compromise and be like, okay, when can I get these two people in a room together?
For sure. It's just one thing at a time.
They'll play, and then I'll record that, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And it's been hit and miss.
Yeah, but it's
a matter of figuring stuff out.
For sure.
But it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. Because the main thing is we do need to create content because it does seem to be content and interacting with other larger and more well-established companies as well as more experienced people that will generate us the type of interest that we're looking for.
Sure, yeah. Build an audience and then give them the product.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to do that, it takes a lot of work and a lot of research
and time
and a lot of time.
Yeah.
And there's some times where we're going to essentially create nothing for a large period, but then come out with a bunch of different things at once.
Well, not create nothing. It's just it's a long process of creating before it's showcased.
Well, no, I'm purely talking about like planning.
Oh,
phase.
Okay.
And
Indeed.
when I say long period, when I say long, I say anything longer than 2 weeks because I plan things out like I need to get this done by then, but I basically do that after I sit down and plan things out for 2 weeks in advance. So I'm like, okay, for the next 2 weeks, I know I have to do these things. I do these things every week, and then I know I have to get this done. I know I have to get this done. I know I have to get this done, and then there are going to be phases where everything on my calendar for the next 6 weeks or more is going to be learn to implement this, contact somebody more experienced, ask them what their opinion on the different philosophies for doing this is, implement those different philosophies to see it for yourself, possibly consult somebody else again, because I'm so nitpicky and so
that's good. I mean, you just want everything to be perfect.
Well, not perfect, because I don't. That's the weird thing about it. Because like I wouldn't say that I'm a perfectionist. I just am very.
You have an idea.
Not monotonous. That's exactly the wrong word.
You just want it to be implemented in the correct way.
Yeah, I want it to be because
in your way,
or
the highway.
No, not even that. It's just like when we figure out we want to do this.
Yeah.
And we establish, okay, we're not going to run into any issues based on the plan that we've made and the consultations that we've made. I want to make sure that when we get it there, we did it the most efficient way possible.
For sure.
So like, for instance, I don't want to make a move unless I understand what that move means. And I understand what the potential pitfalls of that move are, and have contingency plans for that move. So that's basically what I mean. So there are going to be there are going to be little chunks of time where at least I am sitting down, looking at things, seeing what we can do, seeing how we can do it, and seeing what the best way to do it is.
And I'll film it.
Yeah,
put it on the channel.
Essentially, yeah. Because I do want to, once I'm more in a rhythm and I have something to show people, I want to start doing like a devlog as well, and go from there. And I've kept saying that I was going to keep up with the blog, but I haven't been doing that because I had a bout of depression that lasted for way longer than it needed to. And now that I'm back on my feet, I'm just trying to get back on my feet. So, yeah, doing a lot better. For people that hear about their friends that had COVID and they're like, yeah, it kind of knocked me on my ass for a couple months. It will make you sick, but then there's like a lethargy, and then that lethargy kind of just ruins everything, and it just snowballs into this depression that you have to drag yourself back out of. Because I've been thinking about it, and I was like, that's when it started, because I was going really hard, working really hard, and then I got COVID, and then
we all got COVID.
Yeah, we all got COVID.
Yeah, so and kind of just like,
yeah, it knocked me on my ass for a couple days, but then after that,
I couldn't think straight, dude.
Yeah. Well, I literally could not get out of bed. Like, if there was like a 4-hour period where I made it to the bathroom to pee and throw up, and then I got back in bed.
I would get up, walk the dogs, go back to sleep. Yeah, like that's it.
And then that lasted for way longer than I wanted it to. And then when I tried to get back to work, for even like a month later, I still felt like this fog all over my body, because like I just felt like something was literally holding me down.
Yeah.
And then when I got through that, I was just overwhelmed with seasonal depression, and I think it all kind of culminated together. So like, we couldn't get out of the house.
Yeah, because you're working from home too, so it's like you can't really escape from work. Like you're always in the work.
Yeah, always in the work.
So I'm sure that has to do something to you mentally, for sure.
Yeah, and I've been trying to separate myself from it more and more, and it seems to be working more and more. But it's just a learning experience at this point.
Indeed, we're a team.
Yeah,
we're gonna get it done.
We're gonna get it done for sure. We're talking film still, so shots and everything. So
shots and stuff.
You were wanting to do a second angle, but do you still want to do that, or do you think it would just be something that we can utilize later? We still need to get more comfortable.
I think we just need more equipment, more camera. Because right now we only have like one good camera. I mean, we could use like phone cameras are good, but to really get I want the shot to look the same. I don't want it to be jarring.
Okay.
Because in that first video, when it does switch to another angle, it is kind of jarring, like how different it looks.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to keep it consistent.
Okay.
At least for update videos. If we're doing something like just for fun, that we're just throwing content onto the channel, then I don't think that would really matter. It'd probably be like more stylistic.
We could circumvent that with extra takes.
For sure.
From different angles.
Yeah.
We'll keep that shelved, because that's something that because you basically told me like you want to make every video better than the last video. So I just keep saying now. So I am trying to make it easier for you to edit by having multiple takes, by thinking about what I'm going to say beforehand, so that way essentially
not try and do it in one take.
Yeah, not try and do it one take, and get to a point where that's as smooth as possible for you.
Yeah.
So that way we can do
just be more efficient.
More efficient.
Yeah.
And then from after we have an efficient.
Once we're more efficient, more
we
content.
Can start doing crazier.
Yeah.
Crazier.
Start doing
things,
more content.
More content. And then the balance will even out more.
Yeah. And just the more you do, the better you get.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, it's been fun to learn.
Yeah.
I felt like there were almost no resources when we started, and
Yeah.
I feel like I have far more resources.
Yeah, we have a lot.
Yeah, we have a lot of different...
For sure.
Well, I meant knowledge-wise.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm learning so much about, like I said, about photography and Photoshop as opposed to just like Adobe Premiere, or like just editing and filming. Like it's really fun, and yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
New skills are fun.
New skills are fun. But yeah, I'm just really happy with how everything's gone. I'm really happy with where things are going, and I think things are going to continue to get better, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too, man.
This will be a little shorter of a podcast, so you want to keep talking about... You want to end it here, or do you want to keep talking about movies? Because I'm totally down to keep talking about movies.
I mean, we can end it here.
We can end it here? All right.
Unless they want us to talk about movies, just let us know if you want me to just nerd out on movies. I would love to do this.
See,
more.
yeah, I've argued multiple times that you should also have a solo thing. Because when you play video games, together, it's hilarious. You just with a mic,
I know.
right now, if you're not ready for face cam, you just with a mic would be so good.
I know. Once I get more time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do play video games a lot, so.
Ooh, you're talking yourself into it. I can see it.
I know.
One day you're going to talk yourself into it, and it's going to go great for you, man.
Eventually.
Maybe somebody getting to the end of this video, into this podcast, will be like, oh yeah, I liked hearing him talk. He should definitely do videos.
Absolutely.
And if so, like if one person...
Eventually I would want to do this video, like podcast.
You want to podcast?
With video, yeah.
With video? Okay.
Yeah, well, so we can have like just the audio and get that out on Spotify and Apple Music or Apple Podcasts and wherever else you hear podcasts, and then have the video portion up on our YouTube.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, that'd be tight.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you have a beautiful day.
And fuck Raid Shadow Legends.
Did we do the Raid Shadow Legends thing?
We're doing it right now.
Okay, so
fuck 'em.
just in case, Brandon, if you got to the end of
I'm right here.
The last, yeah. Well, this is for future Brandon.
Future Brandon's problem.
Yes, I'll write it here. Raid Shadow insert. 58 50-ish.
Important.
There we go. That way you know that those are ideas. Anyways, yeah, Raid Shadow Legends is terrible. Don't
stop giving me ads.
Stop.
And I know people are gonna say, just get ad block. I don't want ad block.
Ad block.
Sometimes ads are cool.
See, ad block is disingenuous because. So I'm watching this video, right? And if it was up to me, I would be okay with watching an ad before almost every video I watch.
Oh, yeah, when they throw up like a movie trailer that I don't know about, I'm like, oh, what is this?
Yeah. That'd be fine. If
it's like Kenobi, what is this Kenobi trailer? It's coming out soon?
Yeah. If ads were curated to the correct length, so like for instance, I'm about to watch an hour-long video.
Yes.
I should have multiple options, like at the start of the video. You are going to have this many ads that total to this long. Would you like to watch them all at once?
True. Get it out the way, right?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. You got to edit this out.
What?
Do you want to make a YouTube platform one day?
Okay.
If so...
We could do it like that.
All right.
Bye,
everyone.
Wait. We need to do a proper...
We already did.
We did?
We did.
You did. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We did
just
all
in
that?
case. Just in case. Brandon.
Like, comment, subscribe. Gang. I threw up a hand sign. It's just audio. I don't know why I did that. Good. Peace out, homies.
So good for so long and then so awkward at the end. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you soon. Brandon will be back on the podcast soon.
Absolutely.